My name is Setema Gali, and I'm the man who loves his life. Do you love your life? And if not, what are you doing about it? I want to tell you just a little story about a young man who retired from the NFL. That was me, obviously. And I was broke for about 12 months because I hadn't learned how to manage money. And I found myself living in my mom's basement, laying on the bed, looking up at my high school football trophies. I was back in the same room that I was in when I was in high school. After the NFL, after winning Super Bowl, after having tens of thousands of dollars in my wallet, I found myself broke. So after 12 months of having had enough, this is it, I'm sick of it. In 2003, December, I made a goal that I was going to make six figures the next year. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew the principles, simple goal setting. Figure out what you want, how do you get it, be committed and dedicated, and create a plan of action. Over the next few years, because of the mortgage industry, mortgage banking, real estate, and hard money, I found myself with a lot of money to the tune of 7 figures. I'm a real estate millionaire. And this time I'm thinking, that's it, I'm done. There's nothing more that I want to do. Well, what happened was in 2005, it was June, I had this epiphany that mortgages isn't what I want to do. It's a great profession, and the mortgage guys out there, I love you. You're helping people buy homes. And I went on this journey of trying to find out my passion and what role I should take in the world. Well, I made 7 figs, a lot of money. Well, to some people it's a lot, to some people it's not. To Donald Trump, sorry, it's not a lot of money. But it was February of 2007. I'm living life, just lots of money, no problems, and I become a little bit arrogant because you start making a lot of money and you start to forget some of the basics. And you start to think you're better than other people. And I remember thinking in February 2007, I'm laying there, we've got a son, my wife, we're looking at each other talking. And my wife says this to me, she says, I hope that we don't have to go through what so many rich people go through. I'm like, what's that? I hope we don't have to lose it all. So to learn lessons that we should learn in life. And I had the thought that night, like, well, if it happened, I just do it all over again, right? I mean, I'm a producer. I've made millions of dollars, and my mindset is so unstoppable. Well, what happened is in March, 1 month later, you think coincidence? March of 2007, I received a phone call. It was from one of my investment bankers, and he said, Setema, we just lost a lot of your money. Now, at the time, I was making anywhere between 30 and 100 grand a month. It would be up and down depending, but I was making a lot of money. And I received the phone call, and I thought, okay, I'm okay. I still have another good chunk of money. About the same time, the spring of 2007, the mortgage industry as we know it, or as we knew it, began to implode. All my streams of income decimated, destroyed. And over the next 6 months, I found myself frantically searching, how do I rebuild? Here's a key month right here. I'm going to write this down. These are benchmarks. February of 2008, almost a year later. Now at this time, I had 5 cars, about $600,000 worth of cars. I had a Mercedes and a Range and a Denali and an Escalade, and I bought a little Ford Escape for my niece. And I had 6 homes around the country, and I thought I was a baller. I thought I can beat this, I can overcome this. February 2008 was the year the month and year that I didn't make a payment on anything. It was hard. It was hard having a high credit score, having my name and my reputation. And then March came, and I didn't make a payment. And then April and May, and pretty soon I began to lose everything that I had owned or had bought. That was hard for me. I have ego, I have pride. I think I'm a human being. And one by one, my cars began to be repossessed. Now, can you imagine the ego inside of me screaming, well, what are people going to think? Well, what are people going to say about you? You've got to look like everything's good. And people say, Setema, how's everything going? I'm like, it's going so good, man. I get in my car, start bawling my eyes out. Because little by little, the savings that we had were disappearing real fast. Fast forward to November 2008. All the cars have been taken. down to my last truck. Guy calls up and says, I'm on my way to pick it up. By then, my pride's been smashed. Thanksgiving 2008, my truck is taken. I don't have a truck anymore, no car. I phoned my family. I said, we need to move out of our house. We're getting foreclosed. I know, right? Everyone's like, you're telling them about your foreclosures? Yes, I had my home foreclosed. The home that I had my firstborn in, birthday parties, family reunions, family prayer, you name it. This home was sacred to us. And I called my family up, and I called my mom up. So they came over, they packed us up, and we moved. Now, I had a buddy at this time who had a home that had 4 months left before foreclosing. He said, Setema, move into my home. Stay there for free until you can get back on your feet. Now, it's ironic because when you're making lots and lots of money, something happens to your confidence and your ego and your pride, whatever you want to call it. Mine was crushed. Crushed. And people say, it's so easy, go read a book. And I used to sit in arrogance. I ran a radio show on AM 630, K-Talk. And people used to call in and say, Setema, man, I heard about your success. How do you do it? I don't have enough money to pay bills, or I want to live my dreams. And in my arrogance, I would say, go and create value for people. Dollars follow value. Go and read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Come to our event and your life will change. Now it was my turn to go through this transformational process. November of 2008, we moved. For the next 4 months, we moved to a home where we knew we were going to leave, so we kept everything stacked up in boxes. Then the bank came and said, you got to get out. So we moved to another home. And all this whole time, I'm rebuilding. I'm starting a business. Right here. I'm starting startup, this new business. I had this vision, I had this dream, like, this is what I'm going to do. Now, people were approaching me about network marketing opportunities and business and sales. I'm like, no, I'm focused. I know what I want to do. After November 2008, we moved to the house. After that house, we moved to another house. And you know what's hard? Is trying to start something up from scratch. Starting to build something I could pay people back, close friends and family. And I want you to know that I've been where you're at right now. Maybe for some of you can't relate, but I've been there where you have everything taken from you. Your confidence shrinks, your beliefs about yourself. I've played in front of millions of people in football, Super Bowl ring, been on the radio, been on TV. And I was hiding in my cave. I was so scared. My beliefs were crushed. I felt like the fleas in the jar. They hit, they take the top off, and they just jumped just high enough. I was scared. It was hard times for me. After 2 years of doing my internet marketing, I had success. I $50,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year. That's pretty successful. I came to a conclusion as I looked back over the past 7 years and thought, okay, I made money in football, I did mortgages, I did real estate, I did sales, I did hard money, I've spoken on stage. What's wrong with this picture? Because back in 2003, about the time I began my rise, there was an individual by the name of Kenton Worthington. Now, I have a friend who knows Kenton, and me and my friend, we were doing real estate. We were making money. And we're like, Kenton, what are you doing? Network marketing? Are you kidding me? And we pointed the finger of scorn. We made fun of him because we were making all this money. The problem with our money is that it was a one and done. And if you have a job, which was, I had a high-paying job, self-employed, I'm a self-employed person. There's only so much you can do, and it's one and done. The epiphany I finally had was, well, Kenton started, I started, here's, Setema, and mine was one and done. Kenton's, I've heard this numerous things from people, Nathan Riggs, Chris Sorensen, Jason Gali. I call this Pearl. There's only 2 ways to make money. There's one and done, and there's Pearl. One and done, and Pearl. I was a one and done. Even though I'd make $100,000 in a month, so what? It's one and done. Then you got to do it over again. At the same time, Kenton looks back at us now after 7 years. What do I have to show for all my work? 0. Yeah, I've got experiences and skills and talents and great stories. But the Pearl model is the only way that I will build from here on out. That's it. Pearl stands for this. Passive, the ability to expand, residual, reoccurring, and I don't have spell check on here, so you have to excuse me, and leverage. This is it. And if you're willing to be open just for a moment, hopefully you've been open this whole time, but this is the model that Kenson built.